This week on Oswego Speedway Shop Talk, we sat down with your defending Novelis Supermodified track champion, Joe Gosek. And while Double O Joe was more than honored to notch his second career Novelis Supermodified championship, he still looks back at missing out on an opportunity at Chris Nelson Insurance Victory Lane.
We didn't have the car. We really didn't. I can't think of one night where we were the fastest car. You know, and eventually the fastest car does win races, but we never really had a car that I felt was quick. I mean, we finished races, but I look back at a lot of races, guys took themselves out late. We were always in the top 5 where you'd pick up a second, third, fourth. But I don't think we really, where we were lacking, I'm not sure. With the car, handling, I think we were down a little power. It's all the little things that make you a winner. The championship meant more than winning, I think, because that basically is a culmination of the whole season. And it's the first time that I've ever finished every race, even though 2 races we were down a few laps. But yeah, winning, I don't know. I guess at this stage of the game, probably the championship was more important last year versus winning. But I think now, not that you're still not after the championship, but you would still want to win some races, I think.
And winning at least one race in 2012 will put Gosek in some pretty historic company, as a return trip to Oswego Speedway Victory Lane will mark Gosek's 41st career Novelis Supermodified feature win, tying him on the all-time super win list with all-time great Nolan Swift.
I don't know. Those are guys you look back in the day. They were the number 1 drivers. I guess you don't really look at it until maybe you're winding down or whatever. And just to be in the same record book, I don't know about years competing compared to myself and him, but regardless, I guess it's pretty impressive to even be up there, in the top in wins, top 5 in total wins or the most wins. But Swifty, Champagne, Bellinger, the Bentley Warrens. I mean, those are people that I started out, they were my heroes.
Right.
And now you're hand in hand with them as far as winning races at Oswego Speedway. And it's pretty impressive, really.
Looking back at the Oswego Speedway history books, Gosek has just one win on Memorial Day weekend, making another Memorial Weekend win even more special for Gosek and Oswego Speedway history, potentially tying Nolan Swift on a weekend honoring both Jimmy Champagne and Richie Evans.
And actually, what worked out, even though it's that one win, that was probably one of the most satisfying, or I don't know what you want to put it, but with Richie being a friend of his, and next year was in honor of him. Or Jim Champagne, either one. But the other end of that was the Richie Evans deal, the modified end of it. But it'll come. I think this year, if anything, continues on from what the feeling I got the first week out, I think we should be, we should have a shot at many wins this year. I think. I really do. I think the car is much better. We made a few small changes, but we got a little stronger motor this year, and I think we'll be there this year.
And while Gosek grew to become good friends with Richie Evans, he also had a great deal of respect for the late Jimmy Champagne.
Oh, God. When I first met him, I was working with Steve Joy on his team. And Steve and Jimmy were great friends. And, the night that they were running for the championship head-to-head, and Jimmy gave Steve his other car, there's a lot of just little insight. I mean, he kind of gave you pointers when you'd ask questions, but never give you the answer. He'd steer you in the right direction. I didn't get to know him real good personally, but just very sharp overall driver, engineer, mechanic, builder. I think the whole package was there, and I think his record proves that.
As Gosek's records continue to climb and he enters the record books with drivers like Champagne, Swift, and Bellinger, who does Joe think is the next driver to approach those marks?
Well, I think, Otto, with his team he has, I don't know how long he'll race, but the way he's rolling, and I think just what you see, what you saw opening night, he's going to be tough. He drives hard. He's probably one of the most aggressive guys up there. And he's got everything rolling for him. He's got a great crew, great sponsorship, great team. I think his team, is the #1 team, and I think, to beat him, you're going to have to be on your A game every time. So I don't know how long Otto will go, but I think he's probably half the wins I got now, and so if he ran another 3-4 years, which would probably be a lot less than I have, we'd probably have a shot at it.
Gosek's Supermodified records speak for themselves, but there's no doubt that his non-Supermodified mark in 1996 still ranks at the top of the list, with his maiden trip to Indianapolis.
I still get butterflies just thinking about it. It was a month. The first year there was, I don't know how I would talk about it, the total picture of the whole month, but it was an awesome experience, and I wish I was 10, 15 years younger and had another shot at it. I'd love to go back around there in a car now. It's just that I can almost, when I go out there or even watch it, I can feel a lap around there, what it was like, at that kind of speed. But yeah, it brings back great memories. To be a part of the 600 or 700 drivers that ever ran there, not a lot of people can say that. So there's a lot of great memories, a lot of great people that I met. The people that you watched on TV all those years, the Ari Lyondikes and AJ Foyts, people that I got to, talk like you and I, that were very helpful in all aspects of being there for the first time. So, yeah, I think for Vicky and I, the month we spent out there was awesome. It was a great experience, and we were fortunate enough to get in the race. A lot of people try and then never succeed, so that was a pretty awesome year. The race itself, looking back on it, was, it is what it is. I was in the race, and that's all they cared about. You're in the race, have at it. You understand the workings more as you're there. Like in '98, I was there trying to qualify with a team that I went out for the month and helped build the car, and actually just so much more comfortable, and I understood the car more, the mechanics of the car, the aerodynamics. I ran a lot of laps. We weren't fast enough. We were at 215. We couldn't get to 216.5. We borrowed an engine. But when I left there then, I felt that I could compete there. I got more seat time, more familiar, could roll out of pits, run wide open. That was neat that year. I was disappointed we didn't qualify, but I left there with great feelings that, in '96 you're thrown into the fire, stand on the gas, go. A whole different scenario than when you're with someone that you could work with as a crew chief, and you had input and it worked. It made changes, made work. It was great. I wish after that I had one more shot at it, but I don't have any regrets. It was a great learning experience. I wish I was a little younger when I started.
Since returning from Indianapolis, Gosek picked up his 3rd International Classic victory and 2 Oswego Speedway Track Championships. But he says he's never been more excited than for this upcoming 2012 racing season. And he believes that the Steel Palace is back on an upswing.
For whatever reason, the crowds were down. The enthusiasm for Oswego Speedway had diminished so much that I never thought you'd see it back when I remember it in the mid-'80s, early '90s. A lot of people that want to be a part of it after the races. A lot of people want to offer their help any way they can. But, it was kind of cool because I probably winding down in career. I look back at, 5 years ago where I thought, I don't think this place will survive. And, last year it got me rejuvenated. It was like, this is cool. And, people are coming, the racing's better, there's more electricity in there. And I think that's been missing for, oh God, I hate to say it, but the better part of 10 years. We've come around with our cars. Like John Andretti's here with his kid. I think when he sees what we have compared to other open wheel racing throughout the United States, because I know they're after midgets and sprint cars. I'm gonna think car count, purse wise, fan wise. I think our super modifieds are going to stack up near the top
Even for a driver with 40 Novelis Supermodified wins, 3 international classics, and 2 track championships, there is more that Gosek would still like to accomplish at the Big O.
Of course, anybody that runs there, the classic would be, I haven't won one in, oh God, what was it, 02, 03, 02. So that's 10 years ago. I always like the long races. I always look forward to it. Unfortunately, we haven't had the car to compete for it. But I'd say classic and getting some wins. And then again, what you mentioned a little earlier was winning with a wing on. That's tough. Those guys come in. We don't do it all the time. This year I'm going to run for Dave and Lori May, which, they have cars that have been in the top 5 the last so many shows up here. So that'd be awesome, really. I'd like to do it with my own, but realistically, to take these cars that we run weekly and throw a wing on, I think you could count them on a couple of fingers, the guys that do that and can run up front and with a chance to win with a wing. So I think winning with a wing, winning races, and a shot at classic would be. It's still fun. I still have that desire to be competitive and be up front. We lack a little time in preparation, but we do the best we can for the team we have.
Having been in Supermodified racing at Oswego Speedway since 1980, and as we move full steam ahead into the 2012 racing season, Gosek reflects on how many more years we could see him behind the wheel here at the Speedway.
I don't know. I still enjoy it. To find the time to do it 100%, which is really the way you got to do it, to go there to win every week. That's tough. And I think I've taken that mentality that we're going to do the best we can. I'm not going to walk out of there after the races each week and be all bent out of shape because we didn't do whatever. I think preparation is key, and the harder you prepare, your results will come. It might take a little while, but they'll come. We'll do the best we can as far as getting the equipment the best we can for the given amount of time. But with 2 young kids, my wife working out of town, and a ton of hours at the nuclear plant, it's hard to know you put 100% into it. If we can make it safe and do the best we can as far as equipment-wise and preparation-wise, and the best we can financially, and our results are decent, I think that's what we gotta. That's fine with me and everyone else. I've done it long enough where you want to be up top every week. There's no doubt, or we wouldn't be there, and we're trying. But when you look at the big picture, you get what you put into it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Got a lot of people that love it and still enjoy it, and still pushing me. So I don't know. Maybe this year, maybe 2 more years. I really can't see me going, much longer than 2-3 more years at the most. I think there's a lot of other things I'd like to do, but it's still fun. We're still competitive, so that's the 2 ingredients that keep you going.